Module 4, Lesson 1, Guided Notes, Adding and Subtracting Decimals. Miss Mew is reviewing how to add and subtract whole numbers with her students. Help Miss Mew by solving the problems below. So we're going to start with 456 minus 233. So when we are adding or subtracting, we start on the right and work to the left. So 6 minus 3 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. And 4 minus 2 is 2, for an answer of 223. Next, we have 179 plus 45. So 9 plus 5 is 14. We're going to put down the 4 and carry the 1. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus the 1 that we carried over is 12. We put down the 2 and we carry the 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2, for an answer of 224. Next, we have 326 minus 89. So we have 6 minus 9, which we can't do, so we need to borrow from the 2. That becomes a 1, and the 6 becomes 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. Now we have 1 minus 8. We can't do 1 minus 8, so we're going to borrow from the 3. That becomes a 2. The 1 becomes an 11. And 11 minus 8 is 3. And 2 minus nothing is 2, for an answer of 237. So A asks, describe the process you use to add and subtract the numbers above. Well, we line up our decimals, and then we add or subtract from right to left. B asks, how would this process also apply to adding and subtracting decimals? Well, as you're going to find out when we add and subtract decimals, it is going to be the exact same process. So adding and subtracting decimals. Our first step is to always line up the numbers based on their place value. Second step, include any placeholders. And then lastly, we add or subtract the like place values. So now let's practice. So we have 379 minus 54. So I'm going to use our boxes to help us set them up. So we have 379 and then 54. These are whole numbers, so there's no numbers to the right of the decimal. And now we can subtract. So 9 minus 4 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. And 3 minus nothing is 3. So 379 minus 54 is equal to 325. Next, we have 37.9 minus 5.4. So they have moved what was originally an invisible decimal one place to the left. So I'm going to put 37.9 on the top and then 5.4 on the bottom. And now we can subtract. So 9 minus 4 is 5, 7 minus 5 is 2, and 3 minus nothing is 3. So 37.9 minus 5.4 is 32.5. Now we have 3.79 minus 0.54. So again, we have moved that decimal one place to the left. So using my boxes, we're going to have 3.79 and then 0.54, and we are subtracting. So 9 minus 4 is 5, 7 minus 5 is 2, 3 minus 0 is 3. So 3.79 minus 0.54 is 3.25. So what patterns did we notice in the problems above? Well, first, I notice that the digits are exactly the same. However, their place values are different. And when this happens, we have the same digits, but our solutions are going to result in different numbers. So in the first question, we had 325. In the second question, we had 32.5. And in the third question, we had 3.25. Now we're going to practice again. And I have two spinners here. But instead of spinning, I am just going to pick two numbers. So from spinner A, I'm going to pick 67.8. And from spinner B, I'm going to pick 19.2. And in this one, we are going to be adding. So I have 67.8 plus 19.2. I've lined up our decimals, and now I can add. 8 plus 2 is 10, so I'm put down our 0, carry the 1, put in our decimal. 7 plus 9 is 16, plus 1 is 17, so I'm going to put 7, carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So our answer is 87.0. Now, I don't have to have the 0 because this is just a regular whole number. There's nothing after that 0, so that is not necessary, and we can just say the answer is 87. I'm going to do that same process again, but this time we're going to be subtracting. So I'm going to pick 104 and 39.7. So I'm going to start by setting up our problem, making sure like place values are lined up. Now because 104 is bigger than 39.7, I'm going to go up here and include a decimal and a 0 to make it easier for our subtraction. So first we have 0 minus 7, which we cannot do. So we're going to come over and borrow from that 4, turning that into a 3, and making this 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. I'm going to put down our decimal. 3 minus 9 we can't do. And I can't borrow from the 0. So I need to come way over here to the 1. So that's going to become 0. Our 0 is then going to become 9. And our 3 becomes 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. And 9 minus 3 is 6. So our answer is 64.3. All right, we're going to do it again, and this time we're going to be adding. So I'm going to take 129.1 and add that to 5.19. So I'm going to set up my problem, making sure like place values are lined up. And again, there's nothing above that 9 here, so I'm just going to put in a 0, and now I can add. 0 plus 9 is 9, 1 plus 1 is 2, put my decimal. 9 plus 5 is 14, so I'm going to put that 4 and carry that 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So our answer is 134.29. And now we're going to do it one last time, and this time we are going to be subtracting. So I'm going to take 76.4 and subtract that from 24.6. So I'm going to line up our problem, making sure like place values are lined up, and now I can subtract. So first we have 4 minus 6, which I can't do, so we're going to come over to the 6 and borrow, making that a 5, and turning our 4 into a 14. 14 minus 6 is 8, so I'm going to put down 8, put my decimal point. Now we have 5 minus 4, which is 1, and 7 minus 2, which is 5. So our answer is 51.8. A sandbox measures 2.8 meters by 1.9 meters. How many meters of wood will be needed to go around the perimeter of a sandbox? So I know that a perimeter means that we add together all the sides. So if this top is 2.8 meters, then this has to be 2.8 meters. And if this side is 1.9, this side has to be 1.9. So I'm going to start by taking 2.8 and adding that to 1.9. So 8 plus 9 is 17. Put my 7, put my decimal, carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So because 2 of the sides equals 4.7, the other 2 sides would also have to equal 4.7. So I'm just going to add 4.7 to 4.7. So 7 plus 7 is 14. Put down my 4, put my decimal, carry my 1. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So our perimeter is 9.4 meters. Our last problem. Put a check by the name of any student who solved the problem with a solution of 259.16. So in order to do this, we are going to have to solve each of these students' math problems. So we're going to start with Kina. She has 71.67 plus 187 plus 49. I'm going to start by putting the bigger number on the top, so 187.49 plus 71.67. And now I'm going to add. So 9 plus 7 is 16. Put down my 6, carry my 1. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Put down my 1, carry my 1, put in my decimal. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 8 plus 7 is 15. Put down my 5, carry my 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So Kina got an answer of 259.16, which was the answer we are looking for. So now we have Milton, who has 861.1 minus 601.94. So I'm going to write out our problem, making sure everything is lined up. And because 601.94 has an extra digit, I'm going to go above the 4 and add in a 0. So we're going to start with 0 minus 4, which we can't do. So we're going to go to the 1 and borrow. That becomes a 0, and the 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. And now we have 0 minus 9, which we can't do. So we're going to go to the 1, make that a 0, make this a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. Put in my decimal. Now we have 0 minus 1, which we can't do, so I'm going to borrow from the 6, making that a 5. That becomes 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 5 minus 0 is 5, and 8 minus 6 is 2. And Milton also got an answer of 259.16, and that was the answer we were looking for. And lastly, we have Lily, who has 460 minus 211.16. So I'm going to start by lining everything up. And because 211.16 has 2 extra digits, I'm going to go up to the top, put in a decimal, and add 2 zeros. And now I can subtract. So we have 0 minus 6, which I can't do. So I'm going to have to borrow, which means I have to come all the way over to this 6. So that would become 5. This is going to become 9. This is also going to become 9. And that is going to become 10. So 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 1 is 8. Put in my decimal. 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. And 4 minus 2 is 2. And Lily did not get 259.16. She got an answer of 248.84. Now go ahead and take a minute to summarize what you learned in today's lesson.